Welcome back to the Siri Poetry Library. I'm your host, Dan Siri, and today I'm actually outside of work. It's the morning, last day of school, and I got here a little extra early, got some bagels for the friends, and gonna read a couple of poems from this book right here, Treasury of Great Poems. It's kind of an old book, a little tattered, but I usually keep a book of poetry in the car because you never know when you're gonna need it. Maybe you're stopped somewhere or you're, waiting for a friend or something to come out of work. You're giving them a ride. I have some poems to read. Okay, so I'm going to read one by Ralph Hodgson, if I'm saying it right. Again, pronunciation is always a trick for me. Well, these pages are a little... This is an old book, so they're a little brittle. And this one is called Eve. Eve with her basket was deep in the bells and grass, wading in bells and grass up to her knees, picking a dish of sweet berries and plums to eat, down in the bells and grass under the trees. Mute as a mouse in a corner, the cobra lay, curled around a bough of the cinnamon's tall, now to get even and humble proud heaven, and now was the moment, or never at all. Eva, each syllable, light as a flower, fell. Eva, he whispered, the wandering maid, soft as a bubble sung out of a linnet's lung, soft and most silverly. Eva, he said, picture that orchid sprite, Eve, with her body white, supple and smooth to her slim fingertips, wondering, listening. Eve, with a berry halfway to her lips. Oh, had our simple Eve seen through the make-believe? Had she put known the pretender he was? Out of the boughs he came whispering, till still her name tumbling in 20 rings into the grass. Here was the strongest pair in the world everywhere, Eve in the bells and grass kneeling, and he telling his story low. Singing birds saw them go down the dark path to the blasphemous tree. Oh, what a clatter when Titmouse and Jenny Wren saw them successful and taking his leave. How the birds rated him, how they all hated him, how they pitied poor motherless Eve. Picture her crying outside in the lane, Eve with no dish of sweet berries and plums to eat, haunting the gate of the orchard in vain. Picture the lewd delight under the hill tonight. Eva, the toast goes round. Eva again. That was an interesting one. It's funny to think of Eve as motherless when you think about it. Didn't have a mom. Just came to be. So I'm going to do another random read. Let's just find something good here. Just the completely chosen at random. No rhyme or reason. And let's see here. Trying to get the author first. Oh, Keats. He should be okay. All right. I should have brought the tripod out for this one. This wasn't exactly planned. I just pulled up a few minutes early and I'm like, let me record. On seeing the Elgin marbles, probably pronounced that wrong. My spirit is too weak. Mortality weighs heavily on me like unwilling sleep, and each imagined pinnacle and steep of godlike hardship tells me I must die, like a sick eagle looking to the sky. Yet 'tis gentle luxury to weep, that I have not the cloudy winds to keep fresh for the opening in the morning's eye. Such dim convinced glories of the brain bring round the heart an indescribable feud. So do these wonders a most dizzy pain that mingles Grecian grandeur with the rude wasting of old time, with billowy mane, a sun, a shadow of a magnitude. Wow, that was pretty powerful stuff. Part of the problem is my eyes are old and the print is this tiny. So I struggled through those two. Hope you guys appreciate what I do for you. My goal is to normalize poetry. I know a lot of times, we think of poetry as like, a bunch of hipsters in a cafe, screaming or angry about something, frustrated about something, But I don't think that poetry is just for a small few. It's not this little thing for hipsters or for, those weird people, I guess I'm one of the weird people, so I can get away with saying that. But poetry is for everybody. Everybody should be able to enjoy poetry, write poetry. You can do this. I'm not kidding. You guys have the power. You can write your own poems. You can write anything you want, because we have to normalize art on this planet. We make it just that it's for a select few and only they have it. And you have to be somehow strange or odd to enjoy this stuff. No, everybody used to read poetry. It used to be everywhere. But now it's become this thing that, well, why would I want to read that? But we just got to make it a part of our daily lives. Reading is important. We're getting further and further away from a society that reads and a society that has the patience to read. And the only reading that most people do today, unfortunately, is when they're going to school. The minute they leave high school, most of society doesn't read anything. Now, it does take a lot of time, but try and make the time. If you give yourself a half hour a day, you have that book that's 1,000 pages. You think, oh, I can never read this book. It's too big. Read 10 pages a day. For 100 days, you'll finish it. That's how I got through a lot of big books. I'm way behind on the Once and Future King for summer reading, and I have to finish it. I have 500 pages to go, but I have to finish it because there's so many other books I want to get to this summer. I don't want it to be another summer where I just read 2 or 3 books. I want to read about 6 or 7. All right, so this is poetry, classic poetry, and random reads, and I'm Dan Siri. Hope to see you again with more poetry and more movie reviews. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. All right, signing.